Hi everyone, it's Eddie Sanchez, and welcome to the E-Writes Podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about Beetlejuice, and I'll stop there because I am a big fan. If you're into that kind of stuff, stay tuned. All right, guys, let's get into it. So let's talk Beetlejuice. Let me not say it again because he might just show up. I'm kidding. I don't have the budget to have Michael Keaton show up. My place. So I wanted to talk about this movie because I love the original. Now, the original, as I still remember, it's from 1988. I have to look it up because it's been so long. It starts Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. Now, for the most part, not everybody came back. We have Winona Ryder coming back. She's gonna be in the movie, and we have the mother, Catherine O'Hara from Home Alone. She's gonna be in it as well. Jeffrey Jones will not come back. Now, it's funny that Jeffrey Jones won't come back. I think he has some kind of controversy. I don't want to get into it, but you should look it up. I think it's interesting. So he didn't reprise his role. But it's funny because they still use, him in a way, right? I'm not gonna give away anything, but it's kind of in the movie in a sense, right? But they don't want to like have him be there. They have him talking, I guess, and in a way, you have to see the movie if you want to know what's going on. Anyway, so the movie takes place many years later. So now Lydia Deetz is and her daughter, Jenna Ortega. She's a great actress, by the way. They are going to be they take over the roles of the leading role, right? So Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin do not come back as I'm seeing here. I think it's sad because I really love Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. Now, Alec Baldwin, as we know, he went through some controversy, so he's not going to be in the movie for sure, right? I'm not giving anything away. But it's a shame because I really like those characters, and I thought it would have been really good. Again, now, you could throw money at people, and maybe they would have shown up. But at the end of the day, it's good that they went in a new direction because it's fresh blood in a sense, right? We have Jenna Ortega. We still have Lydia, who really stole the show. Winona Ryder stole the show in the original movie. I think she did a great job, as well as obviously Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice himself, right? He reprises the role, and that's really all you really need to make the movie really, really good, in my opinion. Now, I want to say that nothing's as good as the original because when you first do an original movie, that's the whole thing that surprises you, and you're like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's funny." But this one did a good job. It wasn't poorly managed, right? I just read something that said that I think that if they would have streamed it on Netflix, they would have got like $48 million more for their budget. I don't know if that would have made a difference. But I think they did a really good job with what they had, with the money they had. I'm gonna put the budget in the screen, so you guys can see how much money they spent in this movie. Because any movie costs a lot of money. As you guys know, I created a short film, and it costs so much money of my own money, and it's expensive to make any movie. But when you're making a Hollywood movie, or a blockbuster, so to speak, it costs hundreds of millions of dollars, right? It definitely costs more than $100 million. Hi, Future Eddie here. I wanted to come to this part of the video to talk about the budget. So the budget for Beetlejuice was around $99 million. Now you're thinking to yourself, Eddie, didn't you just say the budgets for blockbusters are usually over $100 million? And that is the case for most movies. In this case, it was special. Now, the studio went to the filmmakers and said, hey, if you want this movie to go to the movie theaters, you're going to have to keep the budget within $100 million. And that's what they did. They kept it at around $99 million. Now, for me, $99 million would be great. For them, not so great. So the way they do it typically is Tim Burton and the big cast members have to take a back end deal, which means they get paid when the movie does well, or they get paid a certain percentage of the movie's box office numbers. Whatever deal they work out, I don't know the exact details, so I'm not going to get into it. But I just wanted to briefly explain why the budget is only $99 million when it usually is hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, back to the video. Didn't cost more than $100 million, I would be surprised, because you have to advertise. A lot of the budget for the movie is really advertising, because you can't just make a movie, pay the actors. Yes, that's going to be a big budget, but then after you make the movie, you use effects, After Effects, a lot of stuff that costs a lot of money, and then you have to, obviously edit it and put it out, distribution. You have to get it out to the masses. You're gonna pay off the back end. You're gonna pay a lot of money. You're gonna advertise the movie. It's gonna cost a lot of money before you even start advertising. But advertising is a big part of it, because you have to get people to go watch it. If not, it's worthless. And that's what movies do. But what this movie did well is they created a good storyline, right? It's like, they caught up to Lydia when she's older. She's like one of these psychics, right? Or she talks to the dead. And I think that's pretty interesting. I like the way that they handle that, what she does now, because she does talk to the dead, right? And that was the thing. So I think that was a really good way to lead the movie, to make this movie, right? And then we have Jenna Ortega, of course. She's the teenager. She's, a little unhappy. Again, I don't want to give too many details, but there's always friction, because there has to be friction in every movie. There has to be friction. There has to be a reason why they bring Beetlejuice out, right? And again, the plot is good, the story is good, the acting is superb. So I would definitely recommend this movie. If you have not seen this movie, go check it out. I think it's made over $300 million already worldwide. And again, not bad for a movie originally from the 80s, right? They just remade it and kind of like made it more modern. Again, I would definitely recommend this movie. It's something you don't want to miss. Beetlejuice is definitely, it gets my 5 stars. If I had a star system, it'd be from 1 to 5. I'd be getting 5 stars, because I love the acting. I love the feeling that I get. It's a nostalgia feeling from the 80s, right? Not to give away my age, but I did love a lot of movies from the 80s. They were really great. I love the music from the 80s. And that's just me. I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys like Beetlejuice? Have you seen it yet? And if you haven't seen it, are you planning to go see it? Drop a comment down below. As always, thank you for watching and supporting my new podcast. Don't forget, subscribe, because this is a podcast, okay? So I need you guys to subscribe to my YouTube, my podcast. It's free. Why not? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.